Greetings everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Rye, and today we'll be looking at the prize I won in World of Warships. Yes, that's right, we'll be looking at the Yubari. Now, as many of you probably know, I recently won the video contest for the Mighty Jingles, and his prize to me was this ship. It was the Yubari class cruiser. But, you see, the thing is, I actually already owned this ship. And I did let him know in the email that I already had not only the Yubari, but also the Sims. Didn't matter, won it anyway. Which marks the second time that I've won this ship. First time I won this ship was something like 13 or 14 months ago, way back in the closed beta, when I won this ship along with the Grimieshki and the Sims as part of the Triple Threat pre-order package. I didn't need to. I already had access to the closed beta, being an alpha tester. But hey, free stuff. Not gonna pass that up. At the time when I won the ship, originally didn't think I wanted it. Didn't think I was gonna like it. Heard bad things about it. But, you know what? I have actually had some pretty fun games in this ship. And I think it just comes down to the fact that people see it, and not a lot of people use it or have it. So nobody really knows what to do with it. The enemy team you're going to see here, they're going to take shots at me, but they're not going to repeatedly take shots at me. Which means they're just going to let me sit there and peck them to death. The ship is really just a bigger destroyer with anti-aircraft. And speaking of anti-aircraft, that CV player is learning firsthand that the Yubari has anti-aircraft defensive fire. And while I wasn't able to shoot too many of those planes down before they reached the target, some of them were still panicked because they were still in my defensive fire bubble, and I was able to shoot more of them down on the way. The Yubari's got some pretty damn accurate guns, and the dispersion at range is really surprisingly good. As you can see, these shots going out are nice, tight clusters. But they don't do a lot of damage. I would kind of equate this to playing an American destroyer. If you're used to that play style, because you've only got 4 6-kilometer torpedoes, and they don't do a lot of damage. They're not like the other Japanese Navy destroyers that you get, that the torpedoes just do ridiculous amounts of damage. These torpedoes, they do a decent amount, but full salvo, broadside onto a battleship, something like the Wyoming, you're not actually going to sink the Wyoming with all of those torpedoes. Believe me, I know, I've tried. But let's take a look at this battle. This battle here it's a Tier 4 maximum match, which is fantastic. And I'm just going to go ahead and continue pegging to death these battleships back over here in the corner, who've pretty much managed to isolate themselves from the rest of their team. And I'm setting some decent fires. About 11,000 damage at this point in the battle, which is pretty good. One of the battleships is back behind that island, and he's pretty low health. The other one's about 3/4 here that I'm continuing to shoot at because he's available. But again, I haven't taken any shots. They just haven't fired at me, which is a really good thing in this ship. This ship has this, well, it used to have this problem where you could actually get citadeled by people firing high explosive at you. And your citadel was pretty much everything from that secondary gun battery up front all the way to your rear gun turret. So, yeah, that's pretty much the entire ship. Anyway, I've come around the island here. The enemy Miyogi is kind of angled this direction. And this is actually the first damage I've taken all battle. I've got torpedoes off. And I really don't like the Yubari's torpedo arcs, because you pretty much have to be broadside on no matter what you want to do. If the Miyogi had continued to sail in that line, he would have sailed into my torpedoes, but he's not an idiot. Shocker, especially at tier 4. I smell a seal clubber. Anyway, he is not an idiot, so he's turned his ass around, and all of my torpedoes are going to miss. Well, and I mean, honestly, he could have just stopped, and all of them would have fallen short anyway. So that's unfortunate. I'm turned around and pretty much taking Billy Big steps in the opposite direction here, because I've pretty much discovered that other than that destroyer down there, it's just me down here, by myself, with this battleship, who's going to continue to shoot at me. The shots are mostly going to fall short, but you can see they're taking the shots coming in. And as far as the battleship's concerned, between trying to shoot a destroyer, especially with a Miyogi, or shoot a larger cruiser that's well known for not having very good armor, I think I know who I'm going to shoot at. So I definitely don't fault him for doing that. Looking at the game situation, my team is now down by one ship, and we have a bit of a situation back here at our base. If you look up there, we have a cruiser who's up there. There's a destroyer near our base, and I'm surprised he's not trying to cap yet. We've got 2 battleships, a tier 3 and a tier 4 back up there. And I thought there was a cruiser up there, or near there as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and come back and close this distance and try and get shots onto this destroyer, who is not going to make it easy for me, and he's actually going to be pretty smart here. He pretty much suspects that he's detected because he's shooting, so he's going to stop shooting and disappear for a little bit. He doesn't have a smoke screen, or if he does have his smoke screen, he just forgot to use it. So I'm taking shots out. He's going to start maneuvering. Now you can see he's maneuvered a little bit. Oh, and I almost kill him. He's disappeared. So he stopped firing. He's disappeared. Here's one of the battleships. Our cruiser did bite it, but he is going to get the flesh wound award here on this battleship. So, you know, decent trade-off, I would say. Tier 4 cruiser for a tier 4 battleship. And I think that Phoenix is actually going to... I think he ends up top of the team for XP earned. This destroyer, once again, right up there. He was making a beeline for our carrier, so shut him down. He's done. Now I've got to deal with this South Carolina. Tier 3 US battleship. Oh, yeah, the dispersion. Just look at that. Terrible dispersion. I don't think he actually manages to hit me. And I think after frustratingly trying to land a shot with me kind of maneuvering and dodging, he just decides, screw it, I'm gonna shoot at the battleships behind him because at least those I can hit. Trying to get to a decent torpedo position here, but again, you have to go broadside if you want to do that. So you really have to be careful how you do that. He is in torpedo range. I've gotten myself into a position where I was able to sneak those torpedoes out, turn back in so I can avoid getting shot if he decides to put shots on. But it doesn't matter there. He just took a massive salvo from one of our Wyomings, who pretty much ended him. Now, there's a Campbelltown back behind this island. The Campbelltown is, you know, it's the Wix class destroyer, so it's perfectly at home right down here. It doesn't have very good guns or torpedoes, but that's not to say that it can't be a major problem. The destroyer has popped smoke, but the last visual that I had suggested that he was going to try and skirt around this island. And as you can see, the smoke is kind of expanding out that way. So I fire off my torpedoes, trying to run on the edge of this island, so that if he does try to skirt the island, there's a possibility I'm going to hit him. Coming back around here, I'm basically looking to grab him. There he is, he's popped up, split second, nail him with a torpedo. Oh, fuck, I love doing that. That's hitting destroyers in the open that you can't see with torpedoes, and hitting destroyers in smoke who park in smoke with torpedoes. The funnest, best thing in the world. It's the most satisfying and gratifying thing ever. And it makes me happy because I really like seeing the torpedo hit and the flooding on my ribbons counter. I don't know why. It just completes me. So now, I've managed to get 2 kills, 2 destroyer kills. I'm up to about 40,000 damage. Not bad for a tier 4 match. Not bad at all. But this would be, you know, not one of my videos if it ended here. The team's managed to rally. We've come back. We've pushed them back into their base. And we're going to go ahead and continue to push in. And we definitely have the ship's advantage, and we definitely have the battleship advantage. One additional thing, while there's a little bit of downtime while I'm taking shots out at this Phoenix-class cruiser in the distance, you might notice that the aspect ratio in this video has been corrected. The end of this video is going to have the old aspect ratio to the new one, and the reason the aspect ratio is improved is because I changed my monitor. It was my monitor. You say, but that doesn't make any sense. Shots out on this Miyogi. I've lit him on fire. He's put it out. I've hit him again. More shots out. Am I going to get the kill on him? Yes. There's my 3rd kill. I think I'm going to get the kill on this Phoenix. Trying to aim over the island. Oh yeah, shots look good. Here's a Svetlana. Killed that Phoenix. Blind. Didn't see it. Now I'm going to go ahead and engage in a gunfight with a Svetlana. And he's got more guns. But I have more health. Going back to my monitor, though, pretty much for the last 7 years, I've been using a Gateway monitor, 24-inch LCD plasma that had a native resolution of 1920 by 1200, which is a native aspect ratio of 1610. And while I could have resized my monitor to the 1920 by 1080 16:9, it would have driven me batshit crazy to no end to see 2 black bars on the top and bottom of my screen. So, bought a new monitor. And I actually like this monitor. Pretty happy with it. Unfortunately, the end of this video was recorded originally on my old monitor, so you are going to see those black lines when that and the post-battle results screen comes up. The replay was recorded on the new monitor. New resolution, new aspect ratio, and isn't it pretty? Now, this Svetlana has turned around, which tells me that there's torpedoes, and I kind of make a stupid move here, and I actually turned the wrong way. If I had turned the other direction, torpedo beats bound, would have avoided it altogether. One ship left on the enemy team, and that's their aircraft carrier, who is almost dead. He's almost completely dead. He doesn't have many planes left. And it's about this point that I type into all chat, Icon has Kraken. Because I'm sitting on 4 kills. It'd be really nice if I could get the Kraken unleashed. And amazingly, my team says, yeah, go for it. The remaining battleships on my team pretty much just said, yeah, sure, you can have the Kraken. I mean, he's only got like 1,700 health left anyway. I'll just sit in the bay and we'll just cap. Wow. That kind of nicety in any online game, especially World of Warships, that's amazing. So I've got shots out. Here we see the aspect ratio switch over. And there it is. 5th kill, Kraken unleashed in my Yubari class cruiser. The battle itself, not too bad. Not one of the best battles I've ever had in this ship, but 250,000 credits, 52,000 damage, 4,000 experience. And the base XP on this ship was actually pretty good, but I was surprised to see I wasn't top of the team. Yes, that's right. That Phoenix, who took out that battleship, got the Flesh Wound Award. He was top of the team for XP earned. That's still number 2 on the team. Pretty damn good. Lots of damage done. I hit and caused damage to, I think, 5 or 6 different ships here. Disappointed I didn't get the Confederate, but, you know, what can you do? Anyway, folks, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you see these posted on Reddit, Vote, or other places, please do hit those upvote buttons, share my stuff, and I will see you all next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.